If Ron Marcus really had a case to make, number one, he wouldn't just make stuff up, and number two, I come to our show, come on our radio show, and let's have a real discussion. I'd be happy to.
All right, is there a better tool that empowers a woman to defend against an attacker that's bigger and stronger?
Nope.
That's why it's so important for women to learn how to defend themselves with the most effective self-defense tool ever invented for women led by women. The Not Me program is designed to help with training, purchasing a gun, and getting a concealed carry permit. And guess what? It's totally free. To sign up, go to notmest.org.
We're also doing a fundraiser for Not Me California. So if you go to notmeca.org, we're trying to raise $10,000 by the end of the month. Cool. So if you could please, that's our 501c3 that helps fund the program. Go to notmeca.org, make a donation today. Thank you so much. And speaking of tools, we're going to talk about a guy named Ron Marcus today.
Is he a tool?
He's definitely a tool.
Cool.
He's a tool in just about every sense of the word, not a self-defense tool because that would actually make him useful. He's on the other side. He's an anti-gun guy, and I don't know if you saw. Alicia, did you see I was on talking about the gun show a couple of days ago. Did you see that?
I saw a snippet. I didn't watch the whole thing.
I was on ABC or CBS. Brendan, what channel?
CBS.
It's on local CBS.
See you over there again.
Well, I wasn't. It was via Zoom. I drew the line there. I was like, look, I only go in for AKUSI, folks. No. So they did a story, and honestly, it kind of bothers me. I was talking to Brendan about this. There doesn't need to be there's not another side to a gun show. It's just an event. Like, there shouldn't be another side. But,
there always
okay,
is.
Fine. They got another side. This guy, Ron Marcus, though, real piece of work. I actually, when I first started San Diego County Gun Owners, I reached out to Ron Marcus because he's kind of the talking head for the anti-gun group. And I said, hey, let's just go have lunch. Let's just go sit down, chat this out, see what we can come up with. And when we sat down and talked, I said, I don't have an agenda. I just really wanted to meet you, and let's talk. And he came off as very reasonable in that, he was like, hey, look, we don't care if law-abiding gun owners have guns. And, I'm not anti-gun. And, I've shot before and whatever. We're not against gun shows. He pretended to be very reasonable. And I say pretended because that was the last time I heard any kind of reason from him at all. He's been an absolute ridiculous, twerpy kind of weirdo ever since, and it's just absolutely infuriating. I remember at one point I even said, these CCW, this is before you could get CCWs in San Diego. I said, geez, these CCWs, that should be like a dream for you guys because it means they have to go through an even more thorough background check. It means they have to go through training. It means they have to all these additional steps. You should want every gun owner to go get a CCW, And he was like, yeah, I see your point. But then from then on, he was totally against the idea of opening up CCWs, getting rid of the subjectivity of CCWs. That was the last time he was reasonable about that. And I even went one step further, and I said, gosh, what if, they said, look, all the assault weapons ban and the magazine ban and all these ridiculous additional gun laws, what if they just disappeared for people who went through additional steps? He's like, yeah, all right, I can kind of see where you're going with that. I said, okay, well, that's a CCW. Like, would you support anybody with a CCW can own, what California terms as an assault weapon or a 15-round magazine, all these other things? And he was like, yeah, I can kind of see it. That was the last time he ever supported anything like that. And I really walked away from that lunch thinking, hey, this guy's not bad. Let's see what happens. And
who bought lunch?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Probably did. If he bought, that's probably why he's not on your side.
I remember where it was. It was at the San Diego Brewing Company down Michigan.
I remember. Is that still there?
Oh, it's still there. It's so good. The beer cheese soup. Oh, it's so good.
See, there we go. I knew we were going. I knew we'd make it.
So anyway, he is just a piece of work. He says all these like, gee, golly gosh, I'm reasonable and whatever. And
is that the first politician you've ran into?
He's not a politician.
Oh, he's not even.
No. He does volunteer work. I'm not even sure which anti-gun group. They all these anti-gunners. There's like 5 different groups, but there's like 15 people. And so, and these 15 people, just like they wear one shirt one day and another shirt the other day. There's like San Diegans for gun violence prevention. There's the Brady organization. There's Everytown. So he's with the anti-gun groups. I don't know which one.
Yeah, depends on what day.
Depends on what day. Sometimes he's wearing an orange shirt. Sometimes he's wearing a red one. Sometimes it's blue, but it's always anti-gun. And I would see him protesting the gun show after sitting there and telling me, "Oh, no, we're not against gun shows." I'm like, look, California gun shows have every law you think should be, as
and then some.
Yeah, I mean, you can't purchase a gun there. You have to go through a background check. There's no gun show loophole. You should be totally in favor. Oh yeah. We don't have anything against gun shows. But then I saw him out there multiple times marching and talking about how we're a bunch of murderers, and I mean, he absolutely like lunatic fringe. So I'm on this interview. We're going to play. Let's go ahead and play the interview, Brennan, and we're going to talk a little bit about it.
As a general principle, we don't have a stance
No. We want to play the whole interview. Now I can already see Lindsay's fired up. She's going to have some things to say about it.
New life for the San Diego Gun Show. For decades, the Del Mar Fairgrounds hosted the gun show until widespread protests led to new legislation banning gun shows on state property.
CBS 8's Richard Allen reports how this new launch of the gun show is different and how gun violence prevention groups are reacting.
And that gun show will be held here at the Masonic Center in San Carlos, October 21st and 22nd, a considerably smaller venue than the original show on the Del Mar Fairgrounds. And that won't be the only difference.
I'm really excited.
Michael Schwartz of San Diego County Gun Owners says the biggest challenge in finding a new venue for their gun show was finding enough space.
The facilities like they have in Del Mar, that's what's perfect for a gun show. So that was the only thing that made it difficult, was finding someplace big enough.
Gun shows on state-owned property like the Del Mar Fairgrounds were declared illegal after Governor Newsom signed into law a bill written by Mayor Todd Gloria when he was assembly member. Schwartz says this new gun show, which premiered a few months back, will also have an educational component, providing speakers on different topics like the Second Amendment. San Diego County Sheriff Kelly Martinez is also scheduled to speak on concealed weapons permits.
We want to make sure that people can abide by the many types of very restrictive gun laws in California and safely use their firearm in California.
As a general principle, we don't have a stance against gun shows at all.
Ron Marcus is with San Diegans for Gun Violence Prevention. He says the protest against having the gun show on the Del Mar Fairgrounds centered on its being on state-funded land.
A number of citizens groups didn't feel it was appropriate for taxpayer money to be going to land that was featuring gun shows.
Marcus says their group just wants to make sure any gun show follows the law, from restrictions around marketing firearms to children, to ghost guns, to background checks.
We just want to make sure that gun shows, like any gun seller, are complying with the law.
If you are, a reasonable, sane, trained, law-abiding person, then you'll see the value of a gun show. And you'll see the value of the education and community that we're providing.
Schwartz says he's not certain if this new show will attract the many thousands of attendees that the show at Del Mar used to, but is hopeful.
What we want to do is grow it to where it's just as big and probably even bigger than Del Mar.
And the original gun show had come to the Del Mar Fairgrounds about 5 times a year. Schwartz says if the demand's there, this new gun show could become just as frequent.
So now let me talk about a couple things there. First off, let's start right where he ended, which was, we're going to have it just as big and just as frequent, as far as, gun shows here in San Diego, if the demand is there. So everybody listening, we need you to show up. Mm-hmm. Don't go, it's not as good as it was. It's not quite where it was. We need you to show up so that it will become as good as it was. So just throwing that out there. But the other thing is, everything he said was totally contradictory to other things he said, meaning Ron Marcus, and actions he's taken. He had nothing against gun shows, right? That's what he said. But he was out there protesting and calling people murderers. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. He was, he just wants to make sure we comply with laws. That's not what he wants to do. No. He wanted to make sure that we didn't exist.
We were complying with laws.
Of course we were complying with laws.
Right.
Then there was no evidence to the contrary. And he wasn't out there saying, hey, we want you to comply with laws. We want you to comply with laws. That wasn't the chant. The chant was about how we're all a bunch of murderers and heartless and hate kids.
And was he claiming that the gun show space was given free for the gun show?
That's another.
Because you know that they charged him for it. There was no taxpayer money used to fund that gun show.
Yeah, I was going to say, where'd that come up with it?
Right.
We paid them.
We paid them, and they lost. It was somewhere around $500,000 to $600,000 that venue lost. We were a net profit to them. We weren't. There was no tax money being spent on gun shows. It was just it's a total fabrication. It was a total lie. The other thing is, so what if it was? You know, with the implication that it's wrong to have any kind of tax, funded event that has to do with your constitutional right. I mean, just the implication that we're all bad, horrible people. Mm-hmm. This guy, he talks out of both sides of his mouth. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I think that the one thing I'm really, really proud of is we go out of our way and to tell the truth. I mean, our whole purpose is to come here and say, hey, this is what's really going on. Here's the real side of the story. Let's introduce you to real people involved. And, their side has to like bob and weave and come up with these ridiculous, arguments, quote unquote, to try to prove their absolutely ridiculous case. And I just don't understand it. If Ron Marcus really had a case to make, number one, he wouldn't just make stuff up. And number two, I come to our show, come on our radio show, and let's have a real discussion. I'd be happy to. I would be thrilled to debate this guy and have a discussion on his completely ridiculous lies.
Yeah, but he'll do the same thing he did to you when you went to lunch.
Yeah, but at least it'll be in front of people. You know what I mean? Like with it was just me and the waitress and Ron. He can say whatever he wants. All right, well, step up to the plate and let's have a real discussion on it. I dare you.
I want to take him out on the range. He says he's a shooter. Yeah. Let's go out.
Well, I don't know if he'd do that. He was telling me he does martial arts, but like whatever martial arts he studies, they don't actually touch each other. I remember that kind of sticking out. I'm like, oh, really? So isn't that just a dance class then?
I think it is a dance class.
Like karate, yeah.
Anyway, Lindsay, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think if you're not making contact, is it really self-defense?
Very good.
What did you think of the interview? What did you think of the...
I thought that...
You look frustrated.
Yeah, I see people making a lot of different points that aren't really, they don't make any sense. They're not
rooted in truth.
Yeah, they're not true. They're making false statements, and they're
incoherent and contradictory.
Absolutely.
A lot of companies waste an enormous amount of money on marketing. The design is excellent. The photos are beautiful. And your website looks great. But it's just not getting customers. Why? Because you don't have the words that make people buy. But now you can fix that with Sage Street. Sage Street can help you find the words that make it easy for your customers to understand what you do and how to buy from you. Stop wasting money today and schedule a call. Getting started is real easy. Visit sagetree.com and click on the schedule an appointment button at sagetree.com and hit that schedule a call button.
All right, so we talked about Ron Marcus, who wants to rid the world of gun shows. Now let's talk about the gun show that we have going on. You know what's even better is, I don't know if you heard that the reporter said that it was outlawed by a bill written by Todd Gloria.
Yes.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Well, he was in the assembly. He's totally anti-gun. He's as anti-gun as they come. Right. And I don't. By the way, he didn't write it.
No.
It's not like little Todd sat there with his little hands and said, "Well, gee, today I'm going to write a bill." No, some anti-gun group said, "Hey, Todd, you're kind of a tool.
Push this."
Yeah, here it is. And he said, "All right, great, yeah." So that's my Todd Gloria. By the way,
I think that's a very good one.
It's a good Todd Gloria.
I know.
If you'd never heard Todd Gloria speak, wouldn't you kind of think that's what he sounds like?
It's exactly what he sounds like.
I'm Todd Gloria.
And you're not even that short.
Where was I? Oh, so he passed this bill, right? It wasn't even in his district, by the way. Del Mar wasn't even in his district.
Right.
So he passed this bill. So where's the first gun show? In the city of San Diego while he's mayor.
Has he said anything?
The irony.
Put that in your pipe. He probably didn't have a pipe. He probably has a vape. Put that in your vape and smoke it.
But has he ever
Not publicly.
Come out and He's never. I've never gotten a call from Todd Gloria.
Really?
Or, nothing.
Well, you're doing lunches.
He's such a jerk. He really is. He's such an embarrassment. Okay, so let's talk about the gun show. Okay, so the gun show is next weekend, the 21st and 22nd, Saturday and Sunday, both days. It's at the East San Diego Masonic Lodge, which is on Tommy Drive. Mm-hmm. It's over by where like Navajo and Jackson, kind of where that is.
Ways you'll find it.
Yeah, and I think Lindsay's running a shuttle. Aren't you? Aren't you driving a shuttle there? You're gonna shuttle people back?
No. She doesn't have a license.
Oh, that's right.
Carriage.
Horse and carriage.
Yeah,
you could do that.
So what it is it's a gun show. We need everybody to show up. We need everybody to say, "Hey, I'm just going to show up. I don't care if you're there for 20 minutes. Go buy a ticket, show up, walk around." There's a lot to do, and you're going to have fun. But show up, and you're going to see some of the usual cool stuff. You'll be able to see ammo vendors. You'll be able to see some guns. Poway Weapons and Gear is going to be there. Discount Gun Mart is going to be there. The Gun Range San Diego is going to be there. So you're going to actually get to see firearms.
We got a lot of gun guys.
We got a lot of gun guys. What I really wanted to do is I don't want this to be competition for the gun shops. I want the gun shops
This is a great place for them to. It's like the car show.
Yeah.
It's like the auto show down in the convention center.
Right.
All the car manufacturers bring their cars.
Yes.
And show their wares.
Yes.
We should have that same mentality for the gun show.
Well, that's what I'm trying to build. And I think we're getting there. But again, we need you guys to show up and support and say, hey, thank you, Poway Weapons and Gear. Thank you, Discount Gun Mart. Thank you, the Gun Range San Diego on Balboa.
Have we reached out to every gun store in San Diego?
Of course. Of course.
If you don't reach out to Bear Arms in Alpine, I'll be mad.
Why don't you reach out to them?
I knew you were
on the way home.
I will.
Okay. So, but some of the other cool stuff. So then we have accessories. It's going to be very much like every gun show that you can think of. Accessories, ammos, guns, right? Trainers. But on top of that, the symposium makes it very, very different. So the symposium that we're going to have and all you got to do is buy a ticket to the gun show. You don't have to buy like a set. You're in.
Now they never did that at the Del Mar show, did
they?
No, they did not.
No.
So this is totally a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is it a Q&A as well?
So let me run through some of the things that are happening in the symposium. Because there's
making you bump in the road.
Yeah, well, no, you're doing great. You're doing great. I don't know, Lindsay. It's Dave's first day on radio, so we're helping him along here.
I'm trying. I
so
look good in headphones, though, don't I?
Feel free. Just weigh in. Just Lindsay. Just say like, "Hey,
you gotta
Dave,
put her finger up."
Just say, "Dave, this is how radio." Yeah, there you go.
She learned.
Not that finger, Lindsay.
Oh, he would never do that.
Oh, okay. I'm just kidding. So,
so
here's what we have. So here are the speakers we have. And again, all you have to do is come to the gun show. You can see the schedule on gunownersradio.com. But the symposium is free. It's not a separate ticket or anything like that. We're going to have the San Diego Sheriff, Martinez. She's going to come and she's going to basically talk about CCWs, how's it going, how is it going, I don't know if you know this, but a year and a half ago, before she got into office, we were happy with a 200 month, meaning that they'd issued 200 CCW. That was a big month. Like, wow, she got 200 issued. Or it was actually the sheriff before her was a he. He got 200 issued. Now she's averaging like 700 a month. That's what you can do when you get the right people elected. So I'm sure she's going to talk about that. She's going to talk about CCWs in general, but what is she definitely going to talk about? What are people going to definitely ask her about?
How to get through quicker?
The
roster?
SB2, right?
Yeah.
SB2.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to wonder, like, well, what's going to happen? So she's going to talk about SB2. But it's also just a good opportunity to ask her questions, get to know her, take a selfie, put it up on Facebook. She's fulfilled every promise she made to us, and I'm very, very, very proud of the support we gave her to make sure we got her in office. We're also going to have Saturday, tomorrow, towards the end of the day, we're going to have an elected officials panel where I'm going to question Laura Lothian. She's the vice mayor in La Mesa. We helped her get elected. Very, very proud of that. Mm-hmm. Dane White. If you went to Gun Prom, you will know that Dane White is someone we helped get elected. He's the mayor of Escondido. Mm-hmm. I got to tell you, man, nobody helped Dane. You know, Dane worked his butt off. We supported him, but everybody thought that's a hill too high to climb, and he did it. And he's going to talk. Phil Ortiz, he's somebody else we endorsed. He's on the El Cajon City Council. Dustin Trotter he's a Santee City Councilman, and he was also the second member of San Diego County Gun Owners.
Oh.
I don't know if you knew that or not. We barely knew each other.
Are you going to invite Todd Gloria?
Yeah, he couldn't make it, and we're still waiting for his people
Did
to
you
come
already
back to us.
invite him?
No,
You ought to do it just to see.
I don't know, maybe. But he wouldn't fit into the panel. The panel discussion is
No, I just want him to come and see.
Tell him it's a lunch.
Tell him it's lunch.
Yeah, right.
Free lunch, Todd. Come on down. The panel's going to be what's it like being a pro Second Amendment elected official in San Diego?
And they were very popular at the last gun show.
Mm-hmm.
Who
The
was?
symposiums.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
lot of really positive. I don't think we got a negative word one out of the symposiums.
I don't think so. Yeah,
Everybody learned something.
And there's a lot of different. I'm going to tell people how to get a CCW. We're going to do a seminar on there. Patrick Garcia from Firearms Legal Protection. He's
What
going
about
to be
Dylan?
talking about. He's not. I don't think he's going to be there. But Patrick Garcia from FLP Firearms Legal Protection is going to do a seminar after the shoot. So basically, what to do after the shoot, which is always a good seminar. Okay, grand prize. There's a couple things we've got to fly through here. I want to make sure everybody gets all the information they need. So you could win a custom Glock 17 from 2C, featuring his optic and ported barrel and slide, super grip slide cut, and an upgraded Timony trigger. So that's a Glock 17, a custom Glock 17 worth about $1,570, Dave. That's about $1,569 more than I have.
Right.
So that's
Well, you're saving it for a watch.
yeah. Well, that's why I only have.
You won't be having to send that slide off for months to get that optic cut done either. It's already going to be done for you.
It's already done for you.
Wow.
Excellent point. 3-day pistol class from Gun Sight in Arizona. That's a $1,255 value. 511 Rush 2.0 24-liter backpack. Joe Wall jewelry, AR bolt necklace, Tiger Eye 9mm pendant, annual membership to Active Self Protection, mobile app, outdoor women gear, core essentials, gun belts, and more. There's a ton going on, and let me touch on what do we got to touch on? Food. We got to touch on the food, man.
That was that and guns. We already talked about the missing hole. We fixed. There's going to be guns in the gun show. Now there's going to be food.
There's going to be food.
Who came
What
up
more
with
could
this
you want?
menu?
Well, it's Rich did. Rich basically.
I'm not surprised.
Why don't you like it? Okay, well,
I don't see
let's.
hot dogs.
Yeah, I know.
And there's no hot dogs.
And
I can't even pronounce half the stuff you're going to make.
Gosh. All right. So there's coffee. That's how you pronounce
I
that.
can do it. Red, white, and bad.
Red, white, and badass brew. They're going to provide coffee for everyone, and that's actually sponsored by Firearms Legal Protection. Free. You get free red, white, and badass brew every morning. It's our buddy Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
What's their? They have like a bourbon one.
That's really good.
There
I
you
like
go.
that one. The whiskey and bourbon one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There
good.
you go.
Excuse me,
I knew
18.
I knew I liked this kid.
I know.
Pacific Island Crave adobo ribs. It's just ribs.
Those would probably be good.
Look, Matt's in the corner going, "Oh yeah, I know what
It's
that is."
adobo.
Yeah, what's adobo? Who's that guy?
With rice. You know what? Have you ever had rice?
Yes, I've had rice. I was in Korea.
Pancit with lumpia, spam
hell is
musubi.
that?
Do you know what spam musubi is? Lindsay?
No, but I know
Have
it's
you ever had
Good.
spam?
I have had I've had a lot of Filipino food. It's really good.
You've had spam musubi?
Not yet. I really want to.
It's delicious.
Well, come to the gun show.
I will.
You can have mine.
They sell spam musubi at 7-Eleven in Hawaii on the
Isn't it
counters.
just like fried spam?
Well,
Like a slab of.
It's rice.
It's rice and spam, and there's some sauce
And
and
egg.
seaweed.
Don't they throw an egg on top of it?
That's
I don't
right.
think there's
I
any
have seen.
egg.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not spam musubi. That's just
I've seen whatever that is.
some other name too.
Chicken what?
Empanadas,
Now-
banana donuts.
What's chicken what?
Chicken Kelaguen. Matt, is that right? He doesn't know.
Yeah, no.
Hasai Grill, taco rice, chicken taco rice,
You forgot the banana donuts.
No, I said that. Banana donuts. That sounds delicious, by the way. I don't know if I've ever had a banana donut. Oh, my God. And then ice cream. We also have ice cream. Guns, food, politicians that are on your side, attorneys, lecturers, all kinds of good information.
All for $12 when you get that $3 off coupon off the website.
$12. Come down, have fun with us. Go to gunownersradio.com, and then check out the symposium section. And we'll tell you everything you need to know. But come down to the gun show, stay for the symposium, and have some dessert with Dave.
Some elotes? What's that, elotes?
If you could, when you come down, could you just bring like some chicken nuggets for Dave
please.
or something?
Go to McDonald's. They're on sale.
Gosh.
I'm waiting for the McRib.
The palate of a 5-year-old.
It's coming back.
It is coming back. I saw that.
I know.
I got pretty excited.
I even stopped at a McDonald's. I said, you have the McRib yet? No, old man. Get away from me.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. If you're watching mainstream media, you're not getting the truth about guns. Gun Owners Radio is the easiest way to stay on top of the Second Amendment fight, the fight for your self-defense rights. You can watch our live stream on YouTube every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, or if you're in San Diego, AM 1170, FM 96.1, The Answer. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform. Just search Gun Owners Radio and you'll find our show. Like and subscribe to help defend and restore the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.